One way to get paid by an NFL team is through your contract, plus whatever clauses, incentives, escalators, etc. There's also something that's been around for years now, the NFL's performance-based pay system, which is aimed at taking care of players who were drafted low and play a lot. And there's a formula that applies to determine the extra money that a player gets from a separate pool that's created to just help balance out when you have a guy who came in under a slotted rookie contract. He's not making anything. He's playing a lot. Let's take care of him because he's out there on the field wearing the uniform, carrying the flag, taking the reps, and having an impact. John Simpson of the Ravens led the way, all players with $974,000 in performance-based pay. Brock Purdy was in the top 25 at $739,000. His base salary was only $889,000 in the second year of his slotted rookie deal. And you'd think he'd be higher because he's the starting quarterback of a team that made it to the Super Bowl. But again, it's all a formula. It's based on years of service, draft status, playing time, and it's something that they negotiated in a way that fairly compensates guys over and above what they're getting. And it's all tied to, the less you make and the more you play, the more you get.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It is a good thing. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we know that. I was a benefactor of that one year, my third year of my career. We went to the playoffs, and it was like, whoa, I'm going to get this check after the year, right? So, it does. I mean, it protects the player to a degree, right? You'd like to see it, maybe in more of a capacity in some things. And this is a guideline and a baseline thing of what we've discussed before as it pertains to running backs, right? Where I'd go, this is the thing I'd like to see adopted for the top-end running backs in football, right? That to me is where it would make sense a little bit. I told you I had that conversation with Aaron Jones. One of the ideas I've had with that is, hey, after year one, if a running back hits a certain benchmark or whatever, maybe he can become a free agent, right? Something like that. Or, something along the lines of the running back contracts don't count quite as much against the salary cap. There's got to be something there that protects these guys, right? I look at it and go, wait, one of the best players with the ball in their hand last year was Kyren Williams of the Los Angeles Rams. He was arguably the best pure running back in football last year. I know McCaffrey had the best year, and he was on the 49ers, and he had the catches and all of that too. But, man, you could put Kyren Williams up there as far as people running between the tackles, the best runner in the game. He is very worthy of that conversation, right? 5 yards a carry. It's 12 touchdowns, right? He took a beating. He plays physical. A year of his life is gone because of it. I mean, a year of his career down the line is gone. And really, in the big scheme of things, making peanuts as one of the best guys in football with the ball in his hand. And that is not right. And that's where the NFL needs to remedy this situation, because by the time the way the NFL has it set up in the kangaroo court of bullcrap agreements with the contracts and franchise and all that, I know the players voted for it too. I get it. But they never see free enterprise like we talk about. And that's where I'd love to see the running backs get helped a little bit.
I need to rewind a few minutes. You said a lot there, but I do need to say something.
Yes.
I do need to say something because
Right.
I'm going to get the emails. It's beneficiary, not benefactor.
Okay.
The benefactor is the one who pays the money. The beneficiary is the one who gets it. And I just need to say that. I ordinarily would let it go. The statute of limitations on that would have run, but I don't want 20 more emails telling me that you
Good
said
job.
benefactor when you should have said beneficiary. At least you got the first 5 letters.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
BENEF.
I was close.
Look, the other ideas, and I like creative thought when it comes to this. None of this is going to work.
I know.
A quicker path to free agency isn't going to work. Because it's all part of the system that covers all players. The one thing, and when you talked about Aaron Jones yesterday, it's like, yeah, we did have some good ideas last year. What were they? And I forgot about it. And then when I saw that they announced a performance-based pay, that's what we were talking about. Have a separate fund that pays guys who play running back based on yards,
Right.
touchdowns,
Right.
catches, etc.
Right.
Because that enhances the game. To the extent that fantasy football has become a big part of this and people watch because of their fantasy teams, not because of their favorite teams, That has added to the allure. That's how these guys become popular. It adds value to the overall sport. And, Chris, the easiest thing to do, the path of least resistance would be to just reconfigure and renegotiate the formula for performance-based pay so the running backs get compensated that way.
Yeah.
That it's not just playing time,
Yeah, right.
but the formula takes into account yardage and touchdowns. And, the offensive linemen are going to be like, what about us? We don't have stats. But that's the way to do it because it's less conspicuous that way. And then one of these years, we're going to get the performance-based pay numbers, and we're going to see it's Kyron Williams getting $1.5 million on top of what he already made.
It should be.
I think that's the only way to do it that will work, because the other ways infringe upon the rights of the players at the other positions, which I've said time and again.
Right.
Every position should have its own bargaining unit, because what helps a running back hurts somebody else. What helps a quarterback hurts somebody else.
Yeah, I'd like to see something like you said. That has been something I've said for a long, long time, right? And especially if that player's not a first-round pick, right? That maybe changes things. I mean, again, if it's a running back that's a top 10, top 15 pick, I don't know. But there's definitely a part of me, again, that has more of the soft spot in my heart for the guy that's drafted in the 5th or 6th round who's making the league minimum, right? And, I know, like you're saying, like, hey, the O-line's going to sit there and go, hey, what about us? But the point is the O-line, right, most good offensive linemen see a 2nd and 3rd contract, and we're not seeing that at running back. So I wish they could find something along the lines of what you're talking about that's maybe even more aggressive. Like, hey, Kyron Williams, he was no doubt one of the 5 best running backs in football last year. He should be paid something in the range of the top 10 running backs in football for the year. Something like that. Again, I just, I think on a human side of things, it is wrong what we're doing to these guys right now. I really do. It's as we've talked about so much, it's the freakiest guys on a football team, and everybody knows it, and they're getting paid and crushed in that department worse than anybody on the squad.
And they take the biggest pounding physically of pretty much anyone on a football field.
Right.
And their careers often end before they even get a chance to get that second contract. All right, let's take a break. Chris will tell us his thoughts on the cornerbacks in the draft, which is only 23 days away. We'll do that next here on PFT Live. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.